Hello everyone. In this series we're going through concrete steps how to implement an information security management system or ISMS in your organization following guidelines from the ISO 27001 and the BSI Basic Protection. In this second part we go through steps 10 to 15 to reach the level of standard protection. Be sure to check out part 1 if you haven't already, Basic Protection, before watching this video. We start with step 10, Security Policy Specification. In this step we need to specify a security policy for the scope we defined. You can do this incrementally and start with one part and add the next part to systematically address the risks and this way reach a certain level of security. The security policy has to define concrete security measures following the protection goals stemming from the risk assessment and the identified protection needs. Measures have to be implemented in a timely fashion and implementation has to be checked. Also, it has to be updated if needed. Therefore, checks and regular intervals are also necessary to evaluate the effectiveness and timeliness of the implemented measures. It's also a good idea to inform employees about these checkups. Step 11. Maintaining information security. Here we go into the PDCA cycle of cybersecurity. So PDCA, as you probably know, means Plan, Do, Check, Act and can be understood as a way to ensure a continuous improvement process. In short, it means that the security policy as well as all the other parts of the company's security posture have to be evaluated at regular intervals. This needs to be documented and there needs to be a responsible person and responsible roles to perform the checks. A good benchmark is to at least check it annually and, of course, every time an incident occurs. Evaluations must be done by qualified and independent people who need to document their findings in a clear and transparent way. Step 12. Executive level information security reports. So management should be informed regularly about the level of information security, especially when it comes to the threat landscape. You should write management reports which contain all relevant information about the security process, especially problems, successes, and possible improvements. You should always include realistic estimates regarding the costs of those proposed improvements. Management decisions should also be documented, especially regarding how they want to deal with risks, so if they want to accept a risk, for example. All these documents should be archived properly. Step 13. Documentation of the security process. Basically, everything that leads to a decision somewhere in the security process needs to be documented. You have to show why and how you reached a certain decision. There should be guidelines on how to archive these documents and where to store them. The current version of each of these documents needs to be readily accessible and available, and all prior versions should be archived in a way that disallows tampering. Step 14. Awareness. All employees and other stakeholders should be trained in a systematic and focused way regarding security risks and threats. You can decide how you do that, but you should document it, and the attendance rate of these trainings is very often an important KPI, so key performance indicator. Step 15. Resources for information security. As already mentioned in part 1, information security needs adequate monetary and human resources. If security measures are defined, resources also need to be defined alongside. Resources should be granted in a timely fashion, and the CISO or his employees need to have enough time to implement the agreed upon measures. And that's it for the standard protection. I'll see you in the third and final part where we talk about steps 16 and 17 to address increased security needs. See you then.